Alright, this is our smallest ride-on scrubber that we have available. This is what we call a 66 BM70. This is a 66 scrubbing with the 70 litre water capacity. So basically this is battery operated. Obviously underneath the seat here we have the battery charger, so it's all built into the machine. We've got the cable which we can then unwind and plug. This here plugs into the 10 amp. It's just a 10 amp power socket. It's not a 15 amp, so it's just your standard power socket. Now the batteries that we run in this machine are a gel sealed battery. They're not an acid, so they're fully sealed, maintenance free. It means you don't have to worry about topping it up with acid, and you generally get good life out of it. So you'll get on run time with this machine, you'll get a good round about 5 hours, obviously depending on the surface, 5 hours run time. And then you're looking at about 6 to 7 hours charging time in view of recharging it. The batteries on this machine, you get up to about 800 charges out of the batteries as far as life goes. Okay, so our clean water's in the front, our waste water's in the back here. What we have here is a basket which will capture all the large objects as you're picking up the water. Means you can pull this out and clean it easily. Then you have a filter on our suction line which needs to be pulled out and inspected after each use. It can be rinsed out under a tap, rinsed out, make sure it's dry and put back in. And we have a float, a ball float, which basically as the water comes up it picks up the ball and then blocks off your suction. This is to stop any moisture getting into your suction motor. One thing you need to be aware of is that you don't have too much foaming, because the foam will not pick up the ball and therefore the foam will get into your suction motor, and obviously if moisture is in your suction motor it's not something that you'll be able to claim under warranty. So that's something you just need to make sure that you don't have too much foaming in the tank. If you do, you can obviously change the type of chemical, reduce the amount of chemical, or you can put an anti-foamer in the tank. As far as putting water in your tank, we've got a hose fitting here, so it's very easy to connect your hose straight on. This is an easy fill, so you can fill it up as you're doing something else to the machine. And it's got a little float in there, so once the water level comes up to its maximum, it will trigger off and block off the water supply so it doesn't splurt everywhere. This here is where you put your chemical. They can be removed. You can either put your chemical and your water in there as well. And you can run up to 40 degrees in temperature, so you can run warm water in it. Now this hose here is what will tell you how much water you've got inside the tank, and also this is a way of emptying the clean water if you wish to do so. So to take off your brushes off this machine is extremely easy. It's just a matter of a push button, which I'll show you the button in more detail in a minute. But if we hold this button down for 3 seconds, the brushes will drop off and they can be easily removed. Now we obviously have a series of different brushes and we have pad holders, so depending on the application we can put a variety of different ones on. So it's a very easy setup of removing it. Put the brush underneath, make sure the other one's underneath there. Then to put your brushes on, you lower it, go to operate the brushes, and then the brushes are now on. So it's a very easy off-on way of putting your brushes off and on. So this is your handle for lowering your brushes. So this handle can be extended if you're giving more leverage if you need it. You can drop the brush down, and as you go the brush is engaged, and then you can use this to just lift up the brushes. So you'll notice the brushes won't go while it's in its upward position, only when they're down where the brushes run, and as soon as I take my foot off the accelerator the brushes will stop. So with the squeegee, this is another wear and service item for your machine. The squeegee assembly can be easily removed, the hose can come off. Undo this, pull off your squeegee assembly, Now these squeegee blades are obviously a wear item, they will wear over time. What you can do is you can release these wing nuts and obviously rotate it and spin your squeegee around, so you will get up to the 4 edges to it. Good habit to pull this off regularly and just inspect it in view of making sure it stays clean. You can also remove your suction hose and inspect it and make sure nothing's caught. Now when flushing out your waste tank, this can be, you can drop your water by releasing it out of this hose. Very easy to take your cap off, you can kink your hose and then release the water. Now if you want to flush everything out of the tank, this cap can also be removed and you can get larger objects out if need be, or in view of sort of getting all the water out of your tank. We've also got some little holders here, so if you want to run a mop on here, or a squeegee or something else in view of doing some of your tighter areas. Here is our key switch. Obviously you've got a key. Orange light tells you the key is on. This is the hour meter, and these are some circuit breakers. So if the machine overloads, these are circuit breakers which will trip out, and they can be easily reset by pushing them back in. Now this is the switch that we use for dropping off your brushes. So if I hold that down for 3 seconds, your brushes have just dropped off and then they can be pulled out. Also this handle here is to lower the squeegee. So you'll notice when I lower it, your suction motor will come on. When I raise it, that suction motor will keep operating for at least 10 seconds. That means that when you pull your squeegee up, you're not leaving water trailed everywhere. So you'll notice as I drop it, the suction motor comes on. As I pull it up, that'll stay on for about 10 seconds and keep running to sort of get rid of all your moisture.